Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an Airbus pilot and welcome back to the Phoenix Airbus A320. Today we're going to fly from Vienna to Frankfurt in the Austrian Airlines livery. A quick 1 hour and 10-minute flight leaving early morning at 6 AM from Vienna and then landing on time in Frankfurt at 7:30. Now, before we start, a quick message from today's sponsor. If you're looking for an ATC add-on that can not just do your standard IFR A to B flight, but also other things like data link, VFR, and even a cabin crew simulation, making their announcement based on your actual sim-brief flight plan, then look no further than Say Intentions AI. We'll be using them throughout today's video within the data link services, all our ATC, as well as a cabin crew. So if you like what you're about to see, then check them out using the link in the pinned comment or the video description below. And with that out of the way, let's get straight into this and check our flight plan. So here's what today's flight plan looks like. We're departing Vienna and then it's almost a straight line until we join the arrival in Frankfurt. And, well, our significant weather charts are looking very good. A little bit of icing forecast until flight level 240 in the Vienna FIR. Apart from that, very good weather conditions. Looking at the local airport weather, Vienna is pretty good. The winds are northwesterly at 12 knots, few clouds, 20 degrees, 1016. And Frankfurt has north to northeasterly winds, clear skies. And it's going to remain like that according to the forecast as well. Our first alternate in Hahn is very good as well. Now with this in mind, let's have a look into the flight plan. We're flying the Austrian 19 Charlie today on the Lima Bravo X-ray, departing at 0400 UTC, landing at 5:30 plus taxi in, so we're going to be just about on time. Our takeoff and landing weights are well clear of any margins, and we're filed in flight level 300 only today, so rather low cruise. Now, looking into our fuel section, I really don't see many reasons to take extra fuel. 5.6 is the minimum takeoff plus taxi, so 5.8 is going to be our fuel for the day. Alright, and with that settled, let's go ahead and start our pre-flight procedures. Namely, the preliminary cockpit preparation first, so engine master levers are checked off, start selector norm, weather radar is off down here. Landing gear lever is down and the wipers are both off. Battery voltage is more than 25.5 volts, and then we can turn on the battery as well as the external power today. Now, let's go down here onto the ACPs, make sure we listen to VHF 1 and 2 as well as the interphone, and make sure that our speaker is set to a decent volume like this. Good. So, while we're waiting for the system to power up, let's import our flight plan into the EFB. Here we go, and then let's go to the mass and balance page. We wanted 5,800 kilograms of fuel. Apply and load, and we can use GSX for both boarding as well as refueling. Now, from here, let's go
runway
on to
awareness.
the charts.
Okay.
So,
Meters.
Vienna, start, airport, ground chart. Let's wait for that one to load. Here we are, and delivery is on 122.125. Let's tune that. Alright, 122, 125, and 1215 on VHF2. That shall do for the time being. Okay, our airplane starts powering up. Then let's go ahead and do the APU fire test, which is looking good. However, we'll keep the APU shut down for the time being. ADRS is coming on. Let's see about the cabin temperatures real quick. I really don't know why the cockpit seems to heat up that quickly here, but doesn't matter. Let's open the window, and that's definitely going to fix it. Temperature outside is 20 degrees, so it'll be very nice in a few moments. Cockpit lights are set so far. Then let's go down and quickly initialize the ACAS system. So ASC menu, flight init, and data request. And while the ACAS is initializing, a quick word that I will be using my WinWing MCDU to make all my inputs today, but I will be talking about what I'm doing so that you guys can follow along downstairs over here. Alright, so our ACAS is initialized, then let's do the recall, hold that for 3 seconds, and that is good, nothing in there. In terms of the logbook, there is nothing technical. The aircraft is an A320-200, CFM56 engines, no automatic nav on go around. And we have no OEBs. With that, the airplane is accepted for today's service. So let's go over onto our EFB again. Vienna 29 dry, synchronize preliminary load sheet, synchronize the weather. Intersection data, I am going to calculate alpha 2. And look at that, 740 meters stop margin, performance limit is 84.3. Very good, so we now know that we can depart like this. Okay, our oxygen pressure is good, the hydraulic quantities are all full, engine oil quantities are full, flaps are retracted, that agrees with the levers, spoilers are retracted. Then let's release the parking brake and do the alternate brake check, which is good. And parking brake is set again. Lovely, emergency equipment's checked, rain repellent is checked, and the gear pins are on board. And that's our preliminary cockpit preparation procedure complete. Okay, so with that done, let's go ahead and start doing a little bit of work. So AOC menu, weather, we're looking for weather request for Vienna. Get me the latest META please and send. And then received messages. We have load sheets and we have several of them. Let's have a look into the second one, edition number 2 here. It's Austrian 19 Charlie on the 17th of August, Vienna to Frankfurt on the Bravo X-Ray, which is our airplane, 2 pilots, 4 cabin crews, 0 fuel weight, just shy of 60 tons, and takeoff fuel is looking good, takeoff weight is looking good. So, underloaded by 1000 kilos, 168 passengers on board, portable water full, and fuel in tanks 5800. Looks good, we can accept this. Then let's go for the weather as well. So it's 330 at 10, 20 degrees, 1016. Alright, and that's set. Good, so starting with the pre-flight procedures. Crew supply on, ground control on, CVR test is good. Evacuation switch on captain, no white lights. So, lights coming on, refueling, it's probably still in progress. Yep, it is. Okay, so battery is off and on again. Then let's go down here onto the elect page, and they are charging just fine. Okay, since fueling is in progress, I'm going to keep the fuel pumps off for the time being. Fire test and engine number 1 is good. And fire test on engine 2 is good. Okay, so up here everything is clear, PA is selected. So QNH is in here, everything's set, and the airplane thinks it's the 17th as well. That's looking wonderful. Now for the radios, let's find a couple of frequencies. Ground chart, if you please. Thank you. Okay, so delivery 122.125, then ground 121.6. Like this, and then we need the tower on 19.4 up next. That is fine. So 8 is departure 121730. Might as well just put that in here, just in case we need it. Okay, lovely. Weather radar, multiscan, auto, GCS, auto, gain calibrated, weather turbulence and hazard selected. Tilt is in op anyway, that's fine. Down here everything's set, and on the right side everything's set as well. Then let's get started with our FMS. So, SimRoof dispatch, view, and off we go. So, data, aircraft status. A320-200, CFM56, nav database up to date. Scratchpad messages all checked and cleared. So, init request. Waiting for the flight plan uplink to arrive, and here it is. Vienna to Frankfurt, alternate in Hahn. Okay, we are Austrian 19 Charlie, cost index 35, flight level 300, and the temperature up there is -39. Okay, ground temperature 20. So So, flight plan, Vienna, departure, 29er, and we have filed via the Osmod to Charlie departure. That's this one. And insert, and now for the arrival, Frankfurt, ILS 07 right, Debbie 1 Charlie arrival, and via 654. Okay, and insert. Now let's go ahead and confirm our departure. So, noise abatement sets runway 29er. Let's have a look at this. So, initial climb is straight ahead to 1000 feet. And that's what we got, straight ahead 1000. Left turn, Whiskey Whiskey 296. And we have that one. Maximum 205, where does that come from? Here it is. Maximum 205 knots, minimum 20 degrees bank during initial turn. Okay. Good, so then it's going to be a right-hand turn to waypoint, that's 383. And we've got 383. And thereafter, right-hand turn 398 and then to Osmod. And we've got 398 and Osmod. That's looking wonderful. So then, let's continue. I am just going to save my emergency point here. That's going to be VAX3. And that's based on Lima Oscar Whiskey Whiskey 29er slash, what's the runway heading? Let's find that down here. 291. And 25 miles straight. Okay, store that. Now, secondary flight plan. Copy active, and we got VAX3 with a holding at 291 inbound. Okay, from here, new destination Vienna. Arrival, ILS approach runway 34. And that's it. Okay, now, flight plan, Vienna, fix info, Vienna 29, course 291, and BAX3. Lovely, so let's have a quick look about the altitudes. 4.7 is the MSA over here, so we'll climb to 5,000 feet, that's going to keep us safe. Okay, now, let's go for the performance initialization. Zero fuel weight is 60, and since we don't have a CG yet, we'll just use 25. Block fuel 5.8, wind component average 8 knot headwind. Then going down, we have an alternate fuel of 1.2, final reserve 1.1, route reserve 0.3, and that leaves us with 4 minutes or 12 minutes extra. Okay, good. Now let's go for the performance. And we have a flap 1 takeoff at 66 degrees. So 1 and 66, and the speed's 54, 54, 55. Noise abatement procedure number 2, engine out acceleration 1500. We don't need to pre-select anything, and Vienna 29 goes into the progress page. Good. That's our FMS setup complete. Then let's move up here. QNH is already in. Initial, I believe, is 5,000. Okay. Cool, so all good, that good stuff is done. Let's see, do we have SID PTs? Yes, we do. So, runway 29 noise abatement. Let's see what we can find in here. Of course, ours seems to be the last page, huh? Osmo 2 Charlie, 5,000. Okay, when instructed, contact Vienna radar, 134.675, initial climb 5,000, To expedite traffic, ATC may request turn as soon as possible with visual reference to the terrain. In this case, terrain clearance has to be issued by the pilot up to 2,400. Okay, I think we should be able to do that today. Okay, 5,000 is set. Refueling is also complete, so let's turn on the fasten seatbelt sign and the fuel pumps. It starts getting a little dark in here. Let's bring those lights up. So you go up, you, and then we're gonna go down here and also turn the intake lights up. Good. Okay, lovely. So that's all our preparations completed. So let's go ahead and start our departure briefing. And a quick check, what are the temperatures now? 24, still fine. Okay, so we're departing Vienna, runway 29, Osmo 2 Charlie departure, initial climb to 5,000, MSA 4,900, and extra fuel and time is 400 kilos, 12 minutes. So with that in mind, we have no hotspots for our taxi routing. However, those taxi lanes are sometimes a little bit hard to understand with the same intentions AI, so we will have that in mind. Apart from that, our stop margin for today's takeoff is going to be 740 meters, plus the TUS effect, which is rather significant over here with this flex temperature. So realistically, I'm expecting something around 900 to 1,000 meters of stop margin. Now, engine outsets straight at 25 miles. Climbing 5,000, and if you need to make an immediate return, runway 34 is the active landing runway, so we'll come back to runway 34, and we are close to the maximum landing weight, but not above it. At least not by the time that we come back and touch down again. Okay, I've got, well, nothing special, nothing non-standard. Threats for the departure. Terrain is a little bit of a threat since we have quite a bit of left turns here leading us towards the Alps. So I am going to use the terrain display on my side for our mitigation procedures. Well, and that's it. Do you have any questions, comments, or suggestions? No? Lovely. So, in that case, we can go ahead and do the cockpit preparation checklist, please. Gear pins and covers removed. Fuel quantity 5,800 kilograms balanced. Seatbelts on. ADS. Nav and altimeters, QNH 1017. And that's the cockpit preparation checklist complete. Alright, cool. Let's go ahead and call for our IFR clearance. And for that, we just quickly need the identifier of the ATIS.
QNH 1016. Transition level 110, advise on course heading, altitude, and if traffic service is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact, you have information Yankee. Vienna International Airport, information Yankee. 0620 Zulu. Arriving and depart.
Okay, so Vienna to Frankfurt, Austrian 19 Charlie, gate Fox 8, info Yankees, Airbus A320, station Vienna. Sent. While we're waiting for the clearance to arrive, let's go ahead and say hello to our guests if the boarding is complete already. Let's see what's the status. Yeah, passengers are pretty much all on board. 3 of them to go, that'll be quick. And apart from that, we are almost completely done already. Very good. Company message. Pre-departure clearance. Request received. Stand by. Okay, we can do that. So, let's say hello. Einen wunderschönen guten Morgen, sehr geehrte Damen und Herren. And she starts talking at the same time. Lovely. Okay, well, in that case, not much for us to do except to wait for the clearance to come in. We're already closing the cargo doors, great. And we have another company message. Okay, request being processed, stand by, close. And here's our clearance. So, clear to Frankfurt, Osmo 2 Charlie departure, Maintain 5000. Departure 119.8. Squawk 1000, expect runway 29. So, 29, Osmo 2 Charlie is confirmed, and Squawk 1000. Wilco and sent. And received by ATC, lovely. So now I would select print in the real aircraft, but okay, can't do that in here. And with that, our IFR clearance is checked. Then let's continue with the load sheet, please. And while we're doing that, start the APU. Now, with the doors closed, it may get hot rather quickly in here. Okay, so compliance with load sheet edition number 2. Zero fuel weight is 60 tons, which we've got, and the CG is 31.9. Okay, fuel in tank 5.8 and takeoff CG is 30.3. 65.6 is checked and 169 plus 6, okay. 168 plus 6, makes more sense. Loads of infants. Okay. Alright, so CG is 30, that means we need a trim of about 0.4 down. We can keep our takeoff calculations. Beautiful. Alright, now let's say hello to our guests. Einen wunderschönen guten Morgen, sehr verehrte Damen und Herren, aus dem Cockpit spricht hier Kapitän. Mein Name ist Emanuel im Namen der Austrian Airlines. Darf ich Sie herzlich an Bord unseres Fluges 199 nach Frankfurt willkommen heißen. Die Flugzeit heute liegt bei circa 1 Stunde und 5 Minuten. Wir erwarten einen weitestgehend ruhigen Flug in einer Höhe von circa 9000 Metern. Lehnen Sie sich jetzt zurück, machen Sie sich gemütlich. Wir beenden jetzt noch die letzte Papierarbeit und werden dann pünktlich unseren Flug Richtung Frankfurt starten. Vielen Dank für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit und wir melden uns im Anflug mit den neuesten Wetterbedingungen bei Ihnen. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning from the flight deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emanuel. In the name of Austrian Airlines, welcome aboard Flight 199 to Frankfurt on board this Airbus A320. Today's flight time will be 1 hour and 5 minutes, expecting a smooth flight at an altitude of 9,000 meters. Thank you very much for being with us. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us. And if there is anything we can do for you to make it more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask any of our charming cabin crew. Thank you very much for your attention, and again, welcome aboard. So, ground from cockpit. Yeah, go. Alright, please confirm all the doors and hatches are closed, ground equipment is removed, and the bypass pin is installed. That's all confirmed. Roger, then can we already call for pushback? Yes, Captain, you can call for push. Thanks. Vienna ground, guten Morgen, Austrian 19 Charlie, request pushback and startup.
Austrian 19 Charlie, pushback and startup approved. Face southeast.
Pushback and startup approved, facing southeast, Austrian 19 Charlie. So, before start checklist, please. It's park and brake, set, takeoff speeds and thrust, V1 154, VR 154, V2 155, flex 66, windows, closed, beacon on, before start checklist complete. So, ground from flight deck? Yep. We're clear to push and start, face east, park and brake set. Roger, and we're gonna go on to the blue line, please. So, park and brake is released, clear to push. Thank you, start on the pushback and stand by for engines. Alright, off block exactly on time at 0400. That's what I call accuracy. Good job.
Captain, the cabin is ready for departure.
Thanks.
Cabin crew, all doors in flight and cross-check. Service aboard Austrian Airlines Flight 199. We are delighted to welcome you on board as we prepare for our journey from Vienna.
Okay, we are
Our captain
clear
today
off
is
the
Manuel,
roads.
and our first officer
Then let's
is
get
Stefan.
going. The
Joining
kick round,
us
we're
in the
starting
cabin
engines
are
1
my
and
fellow
2 in that
crew
sequence.
members, Lucas,
Gear 1,
Anna,
2.
Michael, and Sophie.
Engine 1
As we prepare
start.
for takeoff, I would like to remind you to fasten your seatbelts. To fasten your seatbelt, simply insert the metal tip into the buckle until you hear a click.
The flight deck feels different with the first officer,
Lift the
doesn't
buckle.
it?
Please
There's
ensure that
really
your
a change
seatbelt is
compared to
fastened
the
low and
earlier
tight across your lap at all times when
versions
seated.
where it's
In the
always been
unlikely
empty in
event
the
of loss of
cockpit.
cabin pressure,
I
oxygen
like it.
masks will
I like
drop
the fact
from the
we've
panel
got it
above
on
you.
board now.
To use the mask, pull it towards you to start the flow of oxygen. Place it over your nose and mouth and secure it with the elastic band. Remember to secure your own mask before assisting others. If we need to evacuate the aircraft, please leave all luggage behind and proceed to the nearest exit. There are 2 emergency exits located at the
Malta
front.
7 Tango
Okay, we've got a
ready
good
to
start in
taxi.
engine number 1, starting engine number 2.
Please take
With
a moment to
Malta
find the
7
nearest exit,
Tango
which may be
Quebec,
behind you.
runway
Yeah,
29
the veil is
taxi
showing,
via
engine 2
TL43,
starts.
Echo, exit 24,
After we reach
exit
cruising
1.
altitude, we will be offering a selection of snacks and beverages.
Runway
And
29
later,
taxi
we will
via
come around selling
TL43.
articles from the
Echo,
Austrian Airlines shop.
exit 24, exit
Thank
1.
you for your attention,
Malta
and
7
wish you
Okay, and the
Tango
push is
Quebec.
completed, set brakes. Brake set. Alright, and number 2 is coming. Kick round, we've got 2 good engine starts, you're clear to disconnect, show me the pin on the right hand side, prepare the airplane for taxi, and see you later, bye bye. Here we go, 2 times the veil.
Austrian 90201, ready to taxi.
Austrian
So it's still rather
90201,
cold, then we can turn the
runway
pack off.
29 taxi via TL36,
That is looking
Whiskey,
good.
Lima, exit 1.
So there's a tuck, and that was a lifter, so we're just waiting for the run agent now.
TL36, Whiskey, Lima, exit 1, Austrian 90201.
Where is he? There he is, with a pin in the hand. Beautiful. Okay, after start checklist. RTIs, off, econ status, check, pitch trim, 30%, rudder trim, neutral, and clear signal is seen. After start checklist complete. Austrian 19 Charlie, request taxi. So, bye-bye.
Austrian 19 Charlie, runway 29 taxi via Tango Lima 40 Blue, Tango Lima 40, Whiskey, exit 23, Echo, exit 24, exit 1, Alpha 1.
Austrian 19 Charlie, taxi runway 29 via taxi lane 40 blue, taxi line 40, whiskey, exit 23, exit 24, exit 1, Alpha 1. Okay, so give me that ground shot, please. So, taxi line 40, whiskey, exit 23. Is it whiskey? Whiskey Echo. Okay, so 20. So straight ahead. Whiskey 23 Echo exit 1, and then to the holding point. Right side is clear. Left side is clear. Park and brake released. Let's go. Brake check. Pressure 0. Okay, flight control track. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Rudder. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Alright, so we go straight out over here. From the blue we swing over to the center over there. And thereafter things get a little bit more interesting. It'll be Whiskey, that's the first right. After the apron, then exit 23, Echo. Okay. So, the left side is clear. Okay, Whiskey is the first exit, or the first taxiway on the right hand side. Okay, then next to the left via exit 23 onto Echo. That is over here, and I am going to cut this one a little bit. So the left side is clear. Okay, first to the right and then we're at the holding point. I've got no changes to the takeoff briefing. So squawk is in, weather radar on, and takeoff config normal. Good, taxi checklist please. Flight controls checked, flap setting, config 1+F. Radar and predictive wind shear on and auto, and engine mode selector, norm, ECAM memo, takeoff, no blue. Taxi checklist complete. Okay, so he wants us in Alpha 1, that's gonna be to the left. And then we're at the holding point already.
Austrian 19er Charlie, contact tower on 119.4.
119.4, Austrian 19er Charlie, bye-bye. Wien Tower, Servus, Austrian 19 Charlie, ready for departure. Okay, departure 119.8. Let's pre-select that.
Austrian 19er Charlie, Wien Tower, runway 29er, hold short, you're number 1 behind the 21.
Holding short, runway 29er, Austrian 19er Charlie. Alright, the A321 is already departing. Then it should hopefully be our turn soon. Should be nothing on the approach as they are using runway 34 for that. Yeah, and that's right. Alright, so the initial turn is going to be to the left, 20 degrees bank, maximum 205 knots.
Austrian 19er Charlie, runway 29er, winds 320 at 10, cleared for takeoff.
Austrian 19er Charlie, runway 29er, cleared for takeoff. Cabin crew, prepare for departure.
With Malta, 7 Tango,
approaching
Quebec,
29.
That's checked.
Switching to departure with Malta 7 Tango, Quebec.
So, lineup checklist. Takeoff runway 29er via Alpha 1, TGAS, Tara, PAX 1 and 2. Off, lineup checklist complete. Are you ready for rolling takeoff? I assume that's a yes.
On runway 29.
Takeoff. Line flex 66, SRS, runway, auto thrust blue. Thrust set. Knots, checked. V1, rotate. Positive climb, gear up. Nav, checked. So reaching 1000, 20 degrees of bank. At a minimum, we can use more. Thrust decline.
Austrian 19er Charlie.
Climb auto thrust.
Contact departure on 119.8.
119.8, Austrian 19er Charlie. Speed radar, Austrian 19 Charlie, passing 2000, climbing 5000.
Austrian 19 Charlie, departure identified, climb flight level 100, direct Whiskey 296.
Climb flight level 100, direct 296, Austrian 19 Charlie. 10,000 bleed. I like those departures here. Okay, flap 0. Speed check.
19 Charlie, climb flight level 210.
Flap 0. Austrian 19 Charlie, climbing flight level 210. To 1000 blue. Alright, so we're nearing the terrain. Terrain display is on my side. So engines are in climb thrust, then we can cancel the chronometer up here. Well, and with that we're up and on the way. Acceleration flow pattern, flaps up, speed brakes on, ground spoilers retracted, landing gear up, and packs on. Look at this. The colors of the clouds are fantastic once again, aren't they?
Austrian 90201, contact Vienna radar on 126.28.
Switching to Vienna radar on 126.28, Austrian 90201.
Set standard.
Austrian 19 Charlie, climb flight level 270.
Austrian 19 Charlie, climbing flight level 270.
Austrian 9201, contact Budapest radar on
Okay, so standard cross-check, passing flight level 105 now.
Dear guests,
So, we can...
Austrian 19 Charlie, negative, maintain flight level 270.
connect to our onboard
Flight level 270, Austrian 19 Charlie.
30,000 feet.
I'm not sure what they understood, but hey, it's gonna be fine.
We hope you have a pleasant journey.
Okay, cool. So, lights off, signs off. We don't need any constraints anymore. Lovely. Then, clear and copy, please.
Contact Vienna radar on 126.28.
switching to Vienna radar on 126.28.
Cruising 300, optional 360, maximum 384. That's fine. And Frankfurt 7 right. Alright, cool. So let's see, distance between topper climb and topper descent. There's quite a bit. We could request higher level. I'll tell you what, we'll lock on data link and then we'll do it through there. So, connection, notification, Lima, Oscar, Whiskey, Whiskey, and notify. Great. So, let's have a very quick look at our flight plan. What do we have here? 2000 above saves us 37 kilos without any impact on the flight time. So yeah, I will request flight level 320 for this one. Next ATC Vienna is in here. Beautiful. Okay, my friends, then sit back, relax, and enjoy this short trip over to Frankfurt.
Austrian 19 Charlie, Frankfurt approach identified. Good morning, expect the ILS runway 7 right approach into Frankfurt via Delta Foxtrot 654.
Expect the ILS 07 right, Austrian 19 Charlie. Okay, and here we are on the approach to Frankfurt. So far it's been a rather smooth flight. We had to avoid one little thunderstorm en route, which was low level after all, a little bit of that weather radar malfunction trouble that
Austrian
you always have.
19 Charlie, say again your last transmission.
Disregard. Okay, so let's go ahead and start to prepare our airplane for today's arrival. I have already entered everything, so the only thing we gotta do is to press the landing flap 3 button, and that's it. Now, let's go ahead and have a look into Austrian 19 Charlie. Expect ILS 07 right. Thank you. God, I have a feeling they need to. Bring a couple doctors to this ATC. You might have some hearing issues. Okay, so passing Charlie at flight level 110, and we cleared down to 4,000. So what I'm gonna do is just vertical speed minus 900, looks good, brings us into a nice position for the approach. Actually, let's do minus 1,000. Okay. So, with all of those out of the way, let's go ahead and start the approach briefing, and that's going to be for you, my friend.
Lufthansa 757, direct Frankenstein,
So we're following the Debbie 1 Charlie arrival for the ILS runway 07 right. Minimum is going to be 530 and the go around is straight at right turn, initially 220 knots and climbing altitude 5000. Extra fuel and time is 700 kilos, which gives us 20 minutes.
Beauty Niner Hotel Golf contact, Langenradar on 129.3.
So thank you for that. As you have already correctly said, we are going to fly the ILS approach, and that's going to be flight director guided, comfort 3, and we'll use idle reverse, auto brake low, vacate the runway to the left-hand side. Then we are either going to have cross runway 07 center, or they'll take us all the long way around. Either could happen, so I don't really want to decide right now yet. Apart from that, we've got nothing special, nothing non-standard. Threats for the arrival. To be honest, I don't see many. Maybe the Taunus in the north over there, however, I don't intend to fly there at all. Nonetheless, I will turn on train display just for the sake of it. And that's it. Do you have any questions about the approach briefing?
Captain,
No?
cabin is ready.
Perfect, so that's our briefing completed. When we've passed 10,000, let's do our
Ladies and gentlemen,
10,000 foot flow, lights on, signs on, constraints, LS.
turn off your electronic devices.
Frankfurt approach, Lufthansa 1, Charlie Fox.
And we've got GPS primary with a high accuracy and the engine mode selector is in norm. We are on local QNH already, so let's go ahead and read the approach checklist. So, barrel reference, QNH 1020, seatbelts on, minimum, barrel 530, auto brake, low and engine mode selector, norm. Approach checklist completed. Okay, so ILS 07 right, we might as well just open the chart already.
Malta 7 Tango Quebec contact, Langenradar on 136.13.
Here we go. Okay, we'll be parking in Alpha 22 today.
Over to Langenradar on 136.13.
First idle open descent.
With Malta 7 Tango Quebec.
That should bring us into a nice position to turn base, just to beam the final approach fix. It doesn't seem very busy, but let's go TCAS below, that may be a little bit of a better option. Nope, it doesn't seem very busy, so I am expecting our base turn pretty soon, once we beam the FAF. So here's Frankfurt. And I really gotta say that update Aerosoft created for the version 1.1 is saving so much VRAM. I'm getting such a great performance at this airport now. For an airport of this size, that's absolutely incredible. Very, very happy about this.
Lufthansa 4 Echo Juliet contact, Frankfurt Tower on 136.5.
So let's pre-select that one.
Over to Frankfurt Tower on 136.5. Lufthansa 4 Echo Juliet.
That's the North Tower in the real world for runway 7 left, but I think St. Tensions is using that same frequency for all of them. So 1600 feet a minute. Okay, 1, 2, 3 aircraft, probably 4 that are ahead of us. In that case, speed, vertical speed.
Lufthansa 1 Charlie Foxtrot, direct.
No need to descend too fast when
Yankee runway 07 right, approach descend and maintain altitude 5000 until established.
Interesting, that's the second aircraft getting cleared for the RNAV Yankee runway 7 left now. Is the ILS an operator from that runway?
Lufthansa 1 Charlie
I don't remember anything the likes from our NOTAMs.
Lufthansa 1 Charlie Foxtrot contact, Frankfurt Tower on 136.5.
Switching to Frankfurt Tower on 136.5, Lufthansa 1 Charlie Foxtrot.
Okay, so let's have a look. Unless this guy is gonna turn base any moment, we'll nicely fit in between. So then we can just literally at Delta Fox 640 request the right hand turn.
Condor 7 Foxtrot Romeo, contact
Alright,
Frankfurt
let's
departure on
start reducing our speed
127.28.
here. Something like 220. And activate approach
Switching to
phase.
Frankfurt departure on 127.28B, Condor 7 Foxtrot Romeo.
Austrian 19er Charlie is ready to turn base. Should have plenty of separation. Now 5 miles to the next aircraft.
Austrian 19er Charlie, cleared for ILS approach runway 7 right.
Okay, that was too easy. Cleared ILS, runway 7 right, Austrian 19er Charlie.
Climbing to flight
So,
level
heading
140,
340.
Condor 7 Foxtrot Romeo.
500 feet a minute, extend center line. So, Delta Fox 660, radial in and
Austrian
insert.
19er Charlie, say again your last transmission.
He's really got some hearing problems. Austrian 19er Charlie, cleared ILS 07 right. Heading. Hold star. So the next plane is 5 miles out. The previous one is also 5 miles out. That is gonna work very, very well. And I have a feeling this gentleman is on runway 07 right. 07 left, not right. Alt. Okay, right 040, and then we'll intercept the ILS from there.
Austrian 19er Charlie,
Cancel dual
direct Delta
autopilot
Foxtrot
on
654, cleared for the ILS runway 7 right approach, Delta Foxtrot 654 transition.
Cleared ILS 07 right, and we're not gonna fly back to 654, Austrian 19 Charlie.
Austrian 19.
Okay, so flaps 1, speed checked. Austrian 19 Charlie, say again. So let's do 170 until 4 miles, that's like the usual Frankfurt speed. Or actually, tell you what, manage speed, we'll go a little bit faster.
Say again your last transmission.
No, I want you to say again, Austrian 19 Charlie. Last flip star. Go around altitude 5000 set. So, straight into the sun.
Austrian 19er Charlie, say again your last transmission.
Are we really stuck in a say again loop? Austrian 19 Charlie, we're changing to tower. Bye bye. Alpha Tower, Austrian 19 Charlie, established ILS 17, correction 07 right. How fast is the guy behind us going?
Austrian 19er Charlie, Frankfurt Tower, wind 360 at 10. Runway 7 right, cleared to land.
Runway 07 right, clear to land, Austrian 19 Charlie. Okay, good. So, ground frequency is pre-selected, even though not really used in Frankfurt. Then let's have some fun. Cat 1. I gotta say, the river mine looks fantastic ahead of us.
Frankfurt Tower, Dolomiti 4 Whiskey Tango, established on the RNAV X-ray runway 07 right.
Dolomiti 4 Whiskey Tango, roger.
Frankfurt Tower, Dolomiti 2 November Charlie, established on the ILS runway 07 right.
Roger.
Man, this sim just invites you to take screenshots, doesn't it? Alright, flaps 2. Speed check,
Lufthansa
flaps 2.
885, contact
You're down.
ground on
And let's also give it a little speed brake
121.805.
here.
Switching to ground, Lufthansa 885.
That's what happens when you take screenshots while you're supposed to fly an airplane. But here we go, with a drag of the landing gear will easily slow it down. Okay, flaps 3. Speed checked. Flaps 3. Alright. Landing checklist, ECAM memo, landing no blue, landing checklist complete. And we're stabilized right at the gate. Checked.
Approaching 07 right.
Checked. Okay, the runway seems clear. Very hard to see anything though. That's where the sunglasses would really help in the real world. Land. But it looks beautiful, doesn't it? And look at how smooth the performance is.
Minimum.
Continue. Spoilers, reverse green, decel. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. 70 knots. Manual brakes. Let's let her roll to the next exit, Mike 13. Okay, welcome to Frankfurt. So, just hand us over to the ground frequency, please. Austrian 19 Charlie, runway vacated.
At 10, runway 07 left, cleared to land.
Short, runway 07 center, ready for departure.
Lufthansa 9 Kilo Whiskey, winds 360 at 10, runway 07 center, cleared for takeoff.
As one of the largest financial districts in Europe.
Austrian 19 Charlie, taxi to gate 5153 via taxiways A, B and C. Contact
What?
ground on 121.805 for further instructions.
121.805, Austrian 19 Charlie.
In Frankfurt.
Via taxiways A,
local
B
time
and
is
C.
7:12
No, I don't think
AM.
so. Especially
If you have
because
a connecting
neither of
flight,
them
please
exists
take
at
note
this
of the
airport.
following.
Frankfurt apron, Austrian 19 Charlie, request taxi to gate Alpha 22.
Flight LX 5678 to Zurich, departing at 8:15 AM from gate B34. Thank you.
Come on.
Austrian 19 Charlie, taxi to A22 via Mike 13, Mike 14, cross runway 25 center, then Lima 9, November 5, November 7. Good day.
Taxi Alpha 22 via Mike 13, 14, Lima 9, November 5, November 7, Austrian 19 Charlie. Alright, great. So Mike 14 is over here. Then let's get going. And Elec hydraulic clamp on. We've already spent our 3 minutes, so shut down right engine. We can do the rest on single engine here. In the real world, they are a lot more efficient to get you off the runway system. But yeah, what can you do?
Lufthansa 976 ready for pushback.
In the real world, we would have got the first taxi instructions either by tower or the ground frequency while on
Push and start approved. Lufthansa 976.
while on the runway already, depending on where you land on. Okay, so we are clear to cross. He said that. Strobe lights on.
Approaching
And clear on the left
25
side. The
center.
other aircraft is holding short. Just look at the performance
4
here.
Yankee
It's
November, ready for
really, really
pushback.
good since Aerosoft have updated the
Lufthansa
airport.
4 Yankee November, pushback approved.
Push and start approved.
Okay, so
Lufthansa
straight ahead
4
November
Yankee
5 and then
November.
left onto November.
Lufthansa 3 Victor Victor, contact tower on
In the meantime,
136.5.
GSX, gate, Alpha 22. No follow me needed.
Zulu ready to taxi.
Good.
Turkish 4 Yankee Zulu, runway 7 center taxi via November 5 November, November 15 Lima 20.
Runway 7 center taxi via November 5 November, November 15 Lima 20, Turkish 4 Yankee Zulu. Hotel request, push, start.
Turkish looks strange over
Lufthansa 1
there.
Hotel Hotel, pushback approved.
Okay, so left onto
Pushback and
November.
start approved. Lufthansa 1 Hotel Hotel. Lufthansa 5 Tango X-ray ready for pushback.
Lufthansa 5 Tango X-ray, pushback approved.
Push and start approved. Lufthansa 5 Tango X-ray.
So let's see what the guy ahead of us is
Lufthansa
doing.
976 ready to taxi.
We'll be taking the first to the right.
Lufthansa
And I think he's
976
turning
runway
onto
7
November
center
8.
taxi via November 8 November, November 15 Lima
He's going into
20.
November 8 while we are going into November 7. That's fine.
Runway 7 center taxi via November 8, November 15, Lima 20, Lufthansa 976. Ground Dolomiti 4 Whiskey
So
Tango,
scheduled on block
taxi
is
to the gate.
30. That means we are nice and early.
Dolomiti 4 Whiskey Tango, taxi to parking via Romeo 7 Romeo Tango,
And since
Nice,
we are,
November.
that means we can leave the APU off.
Romeo 7, Romeo Tango, Nice, November, Dolomiti 4 Whiskey Tango.
Alright, the right side is all clear. Let's have an eye on that A320 over there, see where he goes. That's always the option, he might go into Link 3. But looks like he remains on November 8. Good. Okay, on the right side everything is clear.
Lufthansa 5 Tango X-ray ready to taxi.
Lufthansa 5 Tango X-ray, runway 7 center taxi via November 5 November, November 15 Lima 20.
Runway 7
So,
center
looking for
taxi
Alpha
via
22.
November 5 November, November 15 Lima 20, Lufthansa 5 Tango X-ray.
That's the APC East. It's one of those gates over here, that's what I can say for sure. Okay, 22 is the second gate after the turn. So that's 26, 24, and then 22 on the right hand side over here. Look at how smooth everything is. I really like the
Lufthansa 885, give way to the company A319 on your right.
Giving way to the company A319, Lufthansa 885.
However, a GSX would be fine with a docking system. Oh well, then I'm just gonna stop it over here, it's gonna be fine. Okay, so parking brake is set, then you guys can connect the ground power unit, please. So, ground services, GPU connect. Alright, so power is available. Cabin crew, all doors in park. Lovely. Engines are spooling down.
Lufthansa 46 contact tower on 136.5.
Over to
Here
tower,
we go.
Lufthansa 46.
So, beacon off. Okay, slides disarmed, seatbelts going off. Okay, parking checklist. Park and brake our trucks, brake set. Engines off, wing light off, fuel pumps off, parking checklist complete. So you may deboard, then the chocks are in place, releasing the park and brake. Let's see about the brake temperature. 150, that's fine. Alright, great. Transponder going off and squawk 2000. Fuel used 2930 and we were supposed to use 3300, so we saved like 400 kilos. The single engine taxi might surely have helped there. Okay, so company message, that is probably going to be the on-block message. Yep, arrival message 05/5/19. Okay, that means we are 11 minutes early. Well, my friends, and I would say that is a very good conclusion for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the flight as much as I did. I surely had a blast at this one, but now it's up to you. Leave your feedback in the comments underneath the video, and as always, like, comment and subscribe. And if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one.